Good morning. You see, I received a few messages asking me to speak on what life has taught me as I complete 3/4 of a century. I had no intention, but then the sentence used, what life has taught me, prompted me. Because life doesn't teach. Life is a set of experiences that you experience and you learn. Life is like a library full of books. And if you want to read those books, you read them. If you don't want to read the books, nobody forces you to do so. So life as a set of experiences, good, bad, and indifferent, is a compendium of knowledge, of teaching, which you may use, may not use. So it's not a question of what life has taught me. The question primarily is what I have learned from life. As per the Hindu systems, as I complete the third ashram, entering on the fourth ashram, which possibly might never happen in reality, I look back on 75 years and that the experiences of life had a different notion for me and taught me a lesson. Rather, I learned a lesson from those experiences, which transformed my psyche, my attitude, and my whole being. I learned from life that you need to be yourself. I learned from life not to betray your real self, whatever the reason might be, and then live a life on your terms. Somebody might ask me, why on your terms? Why not compromise? Well, compromise is always welcome. It's a sign of maturity. But when compromise is on the basic principles of life, on the basic values of life, then it's debasing. It takes away from you the right to be called a Homo sapien, a person who thinks and does what his inner urgings tell him to do so. I learned from life that the so-called wealth, the so-called luxuries, mean a lot, but not sufficient enough to make you sacrifice your inner urging. What I have said in my book, Technology of Being Human, the need to be authentic. And that need to be authentic, I learned from life. When I look around me, see the butterflies buzzing about them, the flowers, watch the waves come crashing on the beach, listen to the howling of the wind, and watch the trees swaying in the wind, then I ask, well, these things don't change their character. Why do the human beings do? This $64 million question made me learn to be authentic. And in that process, I learned something more. which people often say that I'm impolite, I'm discourteous, and that's not done. No. I learned the art of saying no. You know, most of the human beings, in a bid to be nice, would never say no, thereby inflaming the false hopes of the others, thereby creating a wrong aura about themselves, which leads ultimately to unhappiness for themselves and for others in their circle. I learned that it's difficult to say no in the beginning. But as slowly you pass on, it becomes much easier. And people come to expect from you. And they don't come and din you with an improper request. I learned from life the art of being different. It's very easy to be a part of the common herd. But then the herd is of cattle, not of human beings. School is of fish. When you become a part of a group, then you lose your identity. And when you lose your identity, you lose your entity. You lose yourself. So I learned the art of being different from life. If you look around in the world, you would not find monotonous sameness. There's a difference all over. And that difference makes an individual what he or she is. And those who don't learn the art of being different might lead a comfortable life. But do they live? I come to the basic question that I learned from life. To live life, not to exist. As I commonly say, mere breathing, mere eating, mere moving is not life. Even insects breathe. Even ants move mindlessly. Even snails breathe. Are you of the level of ants? Or am I of that level? I am not. So I learned the art of living from the world, from life itself. The art of living and not the art of existing. I learned to differentiate between the two. And what I learned from life, I put it in practice. I did not want to learn and let my experience go. I learned from life another big thing. And that was try to restrain your emotions. Your emotions are not a patchwork of your heart to be borne on your shoulder for crows to peck at. And the world as a whole has more crows and ravens, the birds of prey, who want to see a wound and start pecking at that wound to make it a festering wound and turn it into a cancer. I learned the art of avoiding self-pity and inviting pity. It's not easy to avoid self-pity. It's not easy to ward off so-called, so presumed, solicitous statements and comments asking how you are. and the briskness of my demeanor helped me maintain that. Out of these 75 years, at least 53 years I spent in the company of my life partner. 55 years if I count 2 years of the education that we have together. And I learned from life and a partner that the bedrock of happiness is not money. It is the trust, it's the confidence that you have in each other. It's better to separate than not to have confidence. It's better to exit life than to live without trust in somebody close to you. People many times ask me the secret of being happy for 50 years, 53 years. And I simply say, look, I and my wife are two individuals and we are diametrically opposed. She believes in God, I don't. She believes in being kind to everybody and being sympathetic. I do not feel sympathetic. I feel empathy, but not sympathy. She is honest to the core, much more honest than I can ever possibly be. But despite being diametrically opposed, we are happy with each other. And that is because of the trust. That is because of the sense of belonging and the sense of mutual respect and admiration. You know, simple question. People ask their partner, do you love me? How much you love me? When you ask these two questions, you are putting your partner on a mat. And my wife firmly believes in that Kannada proverb that the words create confusion, so she speaks much less than I do. And when she speaks, she means it. And I do not ask her why she loves me. Rather, I would like to ask her, why does she love me? Or why do I love her? So this is a question. We use the words that are often meaningless and, as a matter of fact, misleading. I've learned from life to use words that are appropriate and that have a meaning. Life is not meant to bandy about. I learned from life that if you are serious, then you would possibly learn more. It's the layers and the sediments of experiences, as I said earlier, and each experience can make you learn, provided you wish to learn. The desire to be immortal is not with me, but the desire to change the world is with me. And as I complete, as I said, 3/4 of a century today, I have also learned that it is futile to change the world. It's futile to make the world think the way you do. So I've learned to say my piece and make an exit without bothering, without caring what others feel and what others say. Ignoring the carping comments, ignoring real, sincere, or malicious criticism, ignoring all the applauding and applause. I have learned to live, not to exist. I have learned to be authentic. I have learned to have faith and a trust. And I have learned to be a human being. Life has not been a teacher. I have been a good student. Thank you.